and Vietnam actually are grave competitors for labor-intensive, low-wage manufacturing activities. And that's likely to be increasing over time, and it's going to be a greater threat to assembly activities in this country and manufacturing. So in moving up the technological ladder, clearly workforce skills will have to meet those requirements in that upgrading.
Right.
I guess the government actually in its 9th Malaysia plan hopes that the private sector will pick up a lot of the training needs of the workforce. I think that could be a long-term objective,
right.
But in the medium term, Malaysian companies would have to try and pair up with foreign companies to try and meet those skill upgrading needs that are necessary for moving up the technological ladder.
Okay, Professor Ariff, what other areas would be the key driver of growth for 2008 and beyond?
I think it's mainly going to be services sector. Manufacturing sector's role is declining in relative terms, although in absolute terms it's growing. And I think Malaysia's next engine of growth is going to be definitely the services sector. But within the services sector, we've got to look for niche areas. We do not have competitive advantage in every service area, but therefore we are going to focus on mainly, I think, on financial services, educational services, health services, and tourism. Tourism, I think, is going to be one of the most important foreign exchange earner within the services sector. Already it is the most important, but contributing to something about more than 30% of earnings, services export earnings. So I think there are huge potentials there, but we need to liberalize. We've got to open up, again there in that sense, because service sector is one area which is highly sensitive to all this. We cannot have the cake and eat it at the same time. So we need to open up, we need to deregulate, decontrol and so on and so forth, and that will enable service sector to really be the powerful engine of growth for Malaysian economy.
All right, over to you.
I totally
Professor
agree.
Kasper.
They always say economists disagree with each other, but the growth of the next phase towards becoming a truly developed country will be the dynamic growth of services. Competitive services thrive only in a free economy with basic guarantees of property rights and free markets. You cannot pick winners in the services, like you might be able in manufacturing when you start. So a free economy will allow people to find those winners. And that means for Malaysia a bit of a change in mental tack, in the approach to how to promote the economy. The services sector all services are like flowers that only flourish in a free economy. They can't be pulled out of the bud by some government regulation.
All right, and finally, is there a need to introduce new policies going forward?
I think so. I think if you're wanting to make this transition to a higher technologically based economy, one change that will have to happen very soon is the need to meet the skills requirements that I just talked about earlier on. Apart from that, I think there's still a continued need for building up social and physical infrastructure in the country. Malaysia has done very well on the physical side. The social side, there's still more to be done. There might also be a need to actually try to address other bottlenecks that might emerge at the regional levels. We've got quite significant income disparities across states in Malaysia. And as the pressure on land increases, bringing those states into the picture more permanently, I think it's going to be very important.
Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts on the show. I appreciate that. And with that, we wrap up this edition of The Exchange. Please send us your feedback or comments about the program at theexchange@tv3.com.my. Till next Friday, I'm Ganai Ling. Thanks for watching. Good night.